So today I'm going to be doing just my tips and tricks and stuff like that for Project Pan. If you guys are thinking about doing a Project Pan, don't know where to start, or don't know kind of what you want to do, let me give you some good advice. Alrighty, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and click on that little notification bell so that you're getting the notifications of when the upcoming videos are coming out. Let's just jump right into this tips and tricks kind of video. For all of you that have seen my haven't seen my Project Pan videos, they are in my thing. I just finished up a Project Pan, and honestly, I actually kind of sort of enjoyed it, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. I think I kind of did good. I don't know how well I actually did. I probably should have hit pan a little bit faster. Unfortunately, I didn't. I wish I would have picked different products. So my first tip would actually be keep it in a container. So this is just a container I got at the dollar store. I have a bunch of them in my Alex drawers, and I keep all my makeup organized in them. But this saved my butt a bunch of times. I just kept everything in here, and that's all my Project Pan stuff. Well, some of it. I originally had it all in there and had it in my Alex drawers in a section, and thinking that I would just open up the drawer and use the makeup and that'd be done. But I would open up different drawers when I went to go do my makeup, and I didn't even use that some days. I got a better idea, and I actually put it on my dresser, my mirror, and then I have my Alex drawers here, and then I have my makeup brushes like all around the dresser. And so I actually found that I put it on my dresser and I saw it all the time, so I always gravitated and grabbed the things I needed. So that way when I was planning out kind of what I was going to do my makeup for that day, it was right there. That is one of the biggest tips I can give you. Do not hide it away. Make sure you see it all the time. Put it somewhere you can see it, because if you don't see it, you're not going to use the stuff. Something I learned was that powders are not all equal. Alright, so what that actually means is that some powders are pressed a lot better than other powders. So when you're putting your brush into, say, like a blush, I'm just going to use this because it's here, I just finished my other video. So say you have a blush, okay, and you take your brush and you put your blush in, like your brush in your blush, and there's not very much kick up. That means that it's pressed very, very well. There's going to be a lot more eyeshadow or blush or bronzer, whatever the case may be, in that palette or that thing. So I found in, like, say, like this blush here, this is the one that I used in my Project Pan. It honestly took a long time to get through. It didn't have a very bad, like a very major kick up. I literally had to take my brush, the back of my unicorn brush, and dig the back into it to actually get powder to actually put on my face, because it wasn't, like, it was compacted so much. So these ones were quite a bit harder to get through. So with like this one, this eyeshadow here, there was so much kick up that's why it's disgusting dirty. So there was a lot of kick up, and that means that it's not pressed as tightly as it should be. Normally the fallout and the kickback isn't a thing that bothers me too much, but when I was using the eyeshadow versus the blush, I couldn't figure out what the difference was, and I realized that it took me a lot less time to get through an eyeshadow with all the kick up than it took me to get through a blush that didn't have the kickback. So that is something to consider. So all powders are not created equal. Also, not all containers are created equally, and or they're misleading. So some of them obviously look like they have a lot less stuff in them than they do. So like my Ben Nye product here. If you look at the back, you can see there's a ridge in it, and it looks like there's not that much stuff. So when you look at it like this, it literally looks like there's not very much product in here. But once you get in here, it is way more product. That was like the Lancome product. I thought I was empty with the Lancome product, and when I opened it up and depotted it and put it in one of these, because I was going to actually pull it out and use it, when I opened up the Lancome one, there was way more stuff in it than I thought there was. So be aware of that. Make sure you're opening it up and kind of like checking to see. So another tip I would recommend is be very strategic with what you are putting in your Project Pan. I grabbed things that I didn't really like. and I just figured I would try to get through them, or things that I knew that I hadn't used and that I just wanted to get rid of them and that I had spent money on. To be perfectly honest, next project pan, I am picking things that I actually like, that I want to cycle through, and not just to get rid of them. With most of my project pan, I put things in it just because I didn't really like them and I wasn't actually using them very much. Obviously, things like the NYX, I have them in different colors, and this color was the one that I just wasn't using very often, so that's why I put it in here. But things like the blushes or my bronzer that I just didn't manage to get fully through. Next time I'm just going to declutter it and get rid of it instead of putting it in a project pan. Do not put in something that you probably don't like very much, because then I find that you're probably not going to use it, and then it's just going to sit there. Or you're going to struggle to use it. You're going to have to find other ways to use it, but you're not going to like it anyway. So try not to put things in there that you don't like. Tip number 2 along with that goes to say, don't put in a certain amount of products. Okay, so I put in a certain amount because I was like, I'm going to get through all of these and it's a decent number. So I put in 13 products of makeup, and then I had a body wash. So that's a lot of products to try to get through in 4 months. Like, the Bonus body wash was the first thing I actually got through because it was easier to get through a body wash than it was to get through a blush that I really didn't like. My tip definitely is don't put as much stuff in. Go through your makeup drawers and or where you put your makeup, and just go through them and put in things that you like that you just haven't used a lot. Most of my stuff was low end or drugstore quality drugstore stuff. Yes, there was Clinique, which I wouldn't really consider drugstore, but that was like a cream, and then I had like a MAC eyeshadow, which I've had for ages, and then Lancome and Makeup Forever. What I chose was most of the high-end stuff that I use on a regular basis or that I love, I wanted to hold on to it, but you gotta think about that. So let's be honest, I left a lot of my high-end like Becca highlighters and better bronzers in my cupboard, and I haven't been using them for 4 months, but now they're sitting in there and I'm like, what? I can use them now, but then I'm like, why didn't I just grab one of those? Because you bought them to use them. I would much rather get rid of a drugstore brand makeup that I didn't spend, $40 on a highlighter for, and then actually getting rid of the $40 highlighter because it's been sitting there and I haven't been using it. So keep that in mind. Think the best option is to actually put high-end brands in there, but use them. Because you spent the money on them, you might as well use them, right? And with that being said, so I gave myself 4 months. Next time, I think I'm probably going to give myself a little bit longer. I feel like I didn't do as well as I wanted to do, and I feel like if I had an extra month, I probably would have done a bit better with a lot of those products. That being said, at least they're drugstore brands, and most of them, and I am going to be getting rid of some of them. That being said, at least if they were they're drugstore brands, so I can get rid of them. And I feel like if I had more time, I probably would have been using my actual makeup a little bit as well. I tried not to use any of my other makeup because I was trying to get through the project pan as best as I possibly could, which means all my other makeup, which is quite a bit, sat there. So I feel like maybe next time I will literally go in and do it in 5 or 6 months and do maybe about the same amount of products, so about 13-ish maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go through my stuff and check. I'm giving myself like a month off just because I have so many more palettes and makeup stuff right now that I really want to start playing with. For my last tip, I would recommend trying to find as many ways to use that product as possible. So with things like a bronzer, you can use it for things like contouring, obviously, and bronzing your face. You can also use it as an eyeshadow. If you had, say, a lipstick and you were having a hard time, as long as it wasn't like fuchsia and like super hot pink, you can use it as a wet blush. You can use it on your eye as a base if you need to, depending on the color of what they are. My definite tip is to make sure you are finding as many ways as possible to use that product. Like with my MAC eyeshadow, I used it as a contour in the end. with my bronzer here, I ended up going in and using it in here and in here, and I'm actually wearing most of it as an eyeshadow this time because I was running out of eyeshadows. A blush can be used for an eyeshadow, things like that. If you guys have ideas on how to use your product as something else, leave a comment in the comments below so everyone can kind of get a bunch of information and get some help if they are deciding to do a project pan. So that is everything that I learned and the tips that I have. I'll probably have a few more the next time I do it. I hope this helps you if you guys are doing a project pan. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye! Okay, now that's sorted out. Okay. That worked. Okay. Hi guys. Like these kind of videos? No, if you hate my backdrop, please give me a thumbs up because I hate it too right now. That worked. Okay. If you love Avon makeup, please don't be hating on me. No, my God, don't say that.